On to Is You With It or Nah? This week it's not Kevin versus Devin.
Thank you, Les.
We got Omar versus Kenya.
Hey, why you fucking around? Let's get it back to the regular shit.
And we got judging is Kevin. So basically with the NBA and NHL finals over with, we come up on them dog days of summer where baseball is king. That's the only thing on SportsCenter.
This is the new winter.
Yeah. So exactly. So when we've talked about in the past how baseball is losing some of its fans, and most of their fans are older. So soccer is the number one sport in the world, or football as they call it across the pond. So my question, the debate question is, 10 years from now, which will be more popular in the U.S.? Will it be baseball or soccer? So let's see. Who's calling this in the air?
Let Kenyon call it.
Kenyon, call it.
Heads.
It's heads.
I'm going. What I got to do?
Choose. Which one you going? What side?
I'll take soccer.
Soccer. So who goes first?
Kenyon go first.
Okay. There you go.
1 second here.
We're going to get this clock going.
Ready?
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Go.
When comparing the immediate future of soccer in America to baseball's future, there is one word that makes soccer's prospects much more optimistic than baseball's, and that word is growth. As recently as 4 years ago, it was virtually impossible to view a professional soccer match on TV. Now, thanks to NBC Sports, Fox Sports, you can watch every game of the English Premier League and the German Bundesliga. Thanks to ESPN, you can follow the latest happenings of our national soccer teams and also watch the Super Bowl of soccer, the Champions League. Baseball, on the other hand, has had declining TV ratings for the past 15 years. Over that same period of time, not only has TV viewership declined, but also actual attendance in baseball games, or to baseball games, not only in the major leagues, but also the minor leagues themselves. Whereas you look at just Major League Soccer, the MLS here in America, there's been a significant boost in popularity. There were 10 to 12 teams when MLS started in the early 2000s. There are now 22, and it's expanding. It costs about $150 million now to actually buy or own a franchise in the MLS. Now let's go to the most important factor when thinking about growth, and that's young people. Baseball, as we know, has had sagging participation in Little League Baseball. As you already mentioned, Les, the number one fan for baseball, both in viewership and also participation, is the older white male. Whereas in soccer has the youngest participation, consistent active participation amongst young people in America. Also, you look at what the MLS teams are doing. And what they're doing is they're creating youth developmental programs that are creating stars like Mr. Christian Pulisic, who's leading our U.S. men's national team onto a World Cup, hopefully.
I feel like he thought you was the judge, Les. Kevin.
Are you ready, yo?
No, but let's go.
All right. You see the clock?
All right. Now, he gave you all types of pretty numbers. But one thing he hasn't talked about, which is the NASCAR effect, which is the word plateau. For about 5 years, everybody thought NASCAR was all these numbers every year. People were watching. But then it plateaued. Guess what? Soccer is starting to see the plateau. While there are some parts of MLS that's still showing growth, Univision is already down 8 to 9% in viewership this year alone, which will likely spread to other networks because of the MLS way. Now, I'm going to talk about the MLS way a little bit later. Over the last 20 years, MLS has had a great ratings growth. I mean, beautiful ratings growth. The problem is, when you're that low, any ratings growth is great. It looks good because you had nowhere to go but up. When your ratings are super duper in the trash horrible, and the next year you double those super duper in the trash horrible ratings, of course it looks exciting, but really the ratings went from super duper to just super trash. Still bad by any other standards. A couple months ago, a relegation game across the pond had more viewership on a Sunday morning than a primetime game between the current MLS champ Seattle and Atlanta, which is considered to be the most exciting team in the MLS, which brings me back to the MLS way. The MLS way is to promote team support in a hyper-localized way, more about city pride, cheap family entertainment, and less about growing the game of soccer with people who love soccer. So now most fans don't care about anything but their local team and aren't willing to watch two random teams because they don't have any actual love of soccer. I think soccer will submit its spot past the fourth most popular in the U.S., which is hockey, but that's as far as they get.
Kev,
0 times
this
0
this
equals
was
0.
this one's kind of tough, right?
It was tough. It was a good debate, guys, both of you. Omar, I do have a question. Was that MLS way? Did you read that from that mission statement?
Nah, it's just.
Oh.
Is that in their mission statement?
It was, no, it was a good.
No, it was just pertaining to how they decided to promote the game. That was all.
That was good. It's tough. I'm gonna have to go with Kenyon on this one. Mainly the points you brought up about purchasing a team and the demographic of the fan base. At some point, I agree. The old folks die out and the youth carry it. So if anything, that would be the deciding factor for
I
me.
got a question. Can the league ambassadors get them a court going and buy a soccer team?
Hey, but one thing I did read.
Good question.
One thing I did read though, the number 2 pick was a product of the RBI program in Compton. He's one of the first to make it to the league. And also, I wasn't aware that Chicago White Sox have a program called the ACE program, which the league is looking to expanding. They are sponsoring 180 Chicago youths from ages 6 to 17.
Chicago youths.
Yeah, youths.
Is this my cousin Vinny? The 2 youths. Is that? I mean, you think that's because of the success that the Little League teams had a couple years ago, even though they tried to?
Nah, I think it's more about Chicago keeping those kids
keep
off the
them off the
streets.
streets,
But
yeah.
it's a successful program, and the league is looking to that as the next model to get young players to play.